Yes, it's springtime, and I'm going to talk about this picture still. The woman I was talking about is Rosalind Franklin, and she was Jewish, and she was in England, and she was very talented young woman, and in the 40s, she managed to go to King's College, and she was working in these various places, as a research student, and so she was doing research on the DNA, and she did a photograph on the formation of the double helix, and that photograph was called P51. And so when she arrived in King's College in Cambridge, there was Watson and Crick. There was another one, Wilkinson, I think he was called. There were people working on the subject of the DNA and the double helix. And in fact, I came across this book by chance because I don't know how I found this book, but I was always interested in the cell divisions, and so I read this book. It's a very small book, it's the Double Helix, written by James Watson. But what happened was that they had this friend, Wilkinson, who didn't like Rosalind Franklin, and at that time women were kind of not considered to be good enough. So basically she wasn't very happy in the situation she was in. But this photograph, P51, it was shown to Watson by Wilkinson without her permission. So actually she worked on this and put her life on it, because she then got cancer from using radiation and things like that, but she didn't get any recognition for it. I just wanted to say that she didn't really want the recognition anyway. She thought that she was idealistic, and she said, okay, it's the work that is done for humanity, and that's good. We are one step ahead. And this story came to me without rhyme or reason. It's very strange. And at the same time, this was 1980, I think, and at the same time there was an exhibition in the Natural History Museum where they had a huge cell. They had made a huge cell, by plastic, obviously, and I don't know what it was. It was beautiful, and it had everything that a cell has in it. So it was really quite amazing that things kind of lined up in that I found this book, and then I found all the things that I was interested in at that time. But just to say that Rosalind Franklin then came to Paris, and she continued her research in Paris, and she was very happy, because they had a different attitude towards her here. But this was just after the war. This was 1953, so she was a very typical academic person, and so anyway, she died in, I think, 36 or 37 years old, and this is the story of her, and I got this inspiration to do the picture, not because of her, but because I read this book, The Double Helix. And, it just goes to show that, if you're socially... I mean, Watson was only 25 when he wrote this book, and there was Crick, who was 35, Watson and Crick together, they did this research and things, and wrote the book. But they were enjoying themselves. They had a social life. They were having a good time. And so it just shows how you need to have the two sides. I spent, I think, a year on this painting, and I don't know where it came from. I just want to say, if you just do stuff, begin at one place, and then the idea, there's so many things that are going on in your brain, and you don't know. So this was totally intuitive. I really didn't know what I was doing, but the ideas were there, and today I think it's one of the best things that I've ever, put on paper. So just to say that you never know what's going on inside, the subconscious mind. And in fact, people were saying, "Oh, where did you get the baby from? There's a baby in here. There's an embryo." And because women are supposed to be thinking about embryos or something. I was just thinking about life in general, how things are forming all the time, and it could have been anyone doing, having this idea. So this is my experience of painting a painting that I don't even know, what, if it's still there or what's happened to it, or but just to say that there is a philosopher who says that it is the pre-Raphaelites. Pre-Raphaelites, they thought that there was something else that led them to write, or there was somebody holding their hand, writing or painting, and so there is this theory that creation is not something that we do on our own, but we are helped by extraordinary unseen things, intelligences, which to me it sounds fair enough, but I mean, if you look at this, it is like punctualism, it's little square by little square. I was painting this without any plan at all. So that's my my take on this picture, which I did when I was 21, 22 in the 80s.